Welcome back everyone! Today we're headed back for a new tutorial on Rhino. Rhino is a 3D modeling software. You can actually get a 90-day trial period for those who are interested in trying it out. So for this video, I've decided to teach you how to model Vitra's Happy Bin. Vitra is a Swiss manufacturer for furniture design, and they produce the designs of other designers. Vitra's Happy Bin was designed by Michael Charlot in 2016. He says that the dips were intended to give a more natural and organic feel to the bin, and this is going to be the tricky part to model. So what I like to do before I start modeling something is look at a bunch of images of the product. Try to get familiar with the product, maybe start drawing it, so yeah, just get a feel for the different shapes and the different volumes involved in the product. One thing that's important is finding dimensions when you want to model something. So it's a lot easier to do it when your proportions are correct. If you can't find any dimensions, you can look at some pictures of the product in a situation where it would be used. So for example, for this bin, you can find loads of images of it in an office, and you can kind of guess the dimensions that it can have. Usually for these products that are already being sold, you can find dimensions on websites. Alright, let's get started. You can go ahead and open up your Rhino tab, and we're going to start by creating some layers. So the first layer is going to be named bin. Sorry, I changed that to bin afterwards. And we're going to have another layer called lid. We're going to start with a line base for both of them, so we'll add a sub layer for both of them. We're going to create two new layers called surface for each of the bigger layers, so one for the bin, one for the lid. We're going to start by modeling the bin. We're going to do two circles. The small one is going to represent the base, and the top one is the top of the bin. The small one has a radius of 115, and the bigger circle has a radius of 150, so that's what we're going to enter. You can click on that magnifying glass, right click to zoom out. There we go. Then we're going to select the bigger circle and click on the blue arrow there. And then click on 375 to move it up 375 millimeters, because that's the height of the bin. And we're going to connect a line from the small circle to the top to the bigger circle. There we go. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. And we have our linear drawing of the bin. Now what we want to do is the dips. So we're going to do that by creating these two lines, and basically those are going to function as a kind of like locator points, because sometimes Rhino can be imprecise and we want to be as precise as possible. So we're creating these two lines that are the same length. There we go. Alright, and then cut off the excess. Okay. We're going to create another line that goes through the circle, and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. Next, we're going to use the curve function to link all of those points that we've just created. There we go. And we have our Pringle. I created another layer to separate my line work. So the old lines that we used for construction, I'll put them in the first line file, and the lines that we're going to use to create the surface are going to be in the second line file. We're also going to rotate the Pringle so that it can touch the top of that line. And we're going to hide away those extra lines from before. Now we have our base line structure for our surface bin. Now we're going to use the sweep to command by clicking on surface tab and sweep to, and we're going to select the two circles first and the line, and then we'll click enter and accept, and we'll create the surface of the bin. So next we're going to want to fill the bottom, right? And to do that, we're going to select the circle, and we're going to click on the fill mesh holes function on the surface tab. Next, we're going to create a smooth link between the bottom and the side part of the bin using fillet surface command, and we're going to use a radius of 1 millimeter. There we go. You can see that it's rounded at the edge there. Now we're going to want to create one object, so we're going to select everything and we're going to click on that 2 puzzle piece icon. Next step is we're going to create a thickness, a surface, because this is an object, it's not just a thin piece of paper. We're going to use the offset surface command, and we're going to make it about 3.5 millimeters thick. There we go, and we click enter. Make sure the arrows are pointing inward so that the thickness will be created on the inside of the bin. And there we have it. That's it for part 1. Part 2 is going to be the construction of the lid. Make sure to keep an eye on the channel, and I'll be uploading part 2 very soon.